Well, hello there, friends. This is Lindbergh of the Health and Fitness Motivation Podcast, the place for the rest of us. Those of us who have chronic illnesses, we're completely out of shape. We are just tired of trying. We are just tired in general, or maybe we are blind. And when you put us all together in a group, it's the majority of us. All right, today we're going to hit another topic in our 3-day series. If you've missed the first couple, go back and listen. You'll see there's a series called 3 Days, and we are looking at how the previous 3 days of your life have huge impact on the energy that you do or don't have today. And today we're going to talk about something called DOMS or injury, DOMS versus injury. So if you wake up and have a day where you think, gosh, I need to exercise, but I'm really, really not feeling it. Like I normally don't feel it, but I'm really not feeling it today. Yesterday, we talked about looking at our nutrition. Go back and listen to that one again. The day before, we talked about hydration. Yeah, same thing. Go listen to that one again. Today, we're going to look at an interesting one because it is how DOMS or injury, which are two different things we'll talk about, can really impact your ability to be motivated to exercise. So two different things. One is injury. We know injury, right? You've injured your back. You've injured your hip. You've injured your shoulder. Your knees hurt. You rolled your ankle. You got in a car wreck. Anything like that. Or you're in the shower and you reach down to grab the shampoo bottle and your back went, yeah, injury, right? Okay. If you've had an injury like that in the previous 3 days, that will profoundly negatively impact your ability and motivation to do anything health and fitness wise. And that's normal. That's a normal way that your body protects itself and says, hey, I want you to slow down. I need you to heal. I need you to let me do my thing as your body to heal you so you can exercise. That's a pretty easy one to point to. Another one, though, is when folks, this is really common, start exercising and they start getting into it and they get to a point where they can actually, do a little bit more than they've done before. What typically happens is they get something called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Okay? So what that means is we've all experienced this before, right? You do some exercise and then you have sore muscles. The trick is if we haven't been exercising in a long time, or if we have fibromyalgia and everything hurts all the time anyway, or we have chronic illness and we're so used to just being in pain that we tend to ignore most of the pain we have, because if we paid attention to all our pain, we would quantifiably go crazy and lose our mind. So with chronic illness, DOMS is a little trickier, delayed onset muscle soreness, because we're so used to just ignoring how we feel and wanting to push through anyway. Okay, so here we go. You're getting back into things. You finally start exercising. You don't feel that motivation after a day or two. Look back at your previous 3 days and ask yourself, did I do anything physical in the previous 3 days that I haven't done in a long time? Anything different in the previous 3 days. Doesn't have to be like, oh, I ran a 5K or I did a marathon or I deadlifted a bunch of weights. Like, no, physically, did you do anything different? And then ask yourself, oh, do I maybe have some sore muscles or some tender joints or tendons or ligaments or anything like that? Yeah. And just get in touch with that. Now to the average person not the average person, to the completely healthy person, which is not the average person. It's just the textbook person. That fictional textbook stick figure will draw on the wall. It says, Joe here, exercised and he has sore muscles the next day. Well, Joe, the stick figure, is going to be proud of himself for having those sore muscles because he worked hard. But let's take stick figure B. We'll call him Sam. And well, Sam here has chronic illnesses. Sam feels bad all the time, physically. Well, sometimes mentally too. Sam did exercise. Sam feels bad. Well, Sam felt bad yesterday. Sam feels bad today. Sam doesn't know the difference between bad and bad because it's all bad. It's all pain. And Sam is an expert at ignoring his pain. Okay, so this is why we bring it up and tie it together. So if you have done any kind of physical exercise that's new and different to any degree, there's a good chance that 24 to 48 hours after that event, and it could be an exercise class with me, it could be a personal training session with me, it could be out for a walk because, it's January, you got a New Year's resolution, you're going to walk more than you ever have. Anything. 24 to 48 hours after you do that, your body is going to have a little dip and going to be like, ugh, that was hard. Yeah. So here's why knowing this is powerful. The reason we want to be aware of delayed onset muscle soreness, especially in chronic illness, is because it manifests a little bit differently than a typically healthy person. And it's just one more thing where our body feels tired or sore that we feel like we just need to ignore because we're so used to ignoring our pain. But if we are more aware of it, then we could look back and say, oh, I looked back at my previous 3 days. I did some exercise I'd never done before. And 2 days later, my body's just kind of like, ugh, yeah, ding, ding, ding. This gives us hope. This gives us a thing we can point at and say, aha, here's one more reason why right now, today, my energy might be a little lower. Now, here's the really cool thing, is if you did do some exercise that you didn't normally do, and a day or two later, your motivation to exercise is feeling worse than ever, you can know that in another day or two, depending on if you're a slow healing body, could be another day or 2 or 3 if you're a slow healer, which is a lot of us, you can know and rest assured you're going to rebound from that. And you will have a little bit more energy than you did before later. And that this feeling of, if it's related to exercise, is actually going to go away naturally without you having to do anything. And you're going to next time feel even better and have more energy to do exercise. So just that mental piece of just knowing, oh, it's that exercise that's making me now. But I know that in another day or 2 or 3, if I'm a slow healer, I'm going to be feeling better and this is going to go away and I don't even have to do anything to do that. That's pretty empowering and that's pretty awesome. It also goes in the way of if you're doing too much exercise and you're doing really well and over, several weeks, you're just like more and more and more tired. That could just be your body screaming at you saying, hey, give me a break. And I have this happen all the time. Clients will work with me for 6, 8, 10 weeks in a row. And then they go on vacation for 1 week and do 0 exercise. And then they come back and they're stronger than ever. Yeah, totally happens. Totally crazy, pretty awesome thing. So there we go. DOMS. Now, if it doesn't go away and you don't get better, injury is something you want to look out for and be like, did I actually get injured and do I need to heal? That's why we bring up the 2 of those together. But that's one thing. So when you're feeling blah, look back and say, did I exercise? Did I do something different? And just know that the rebound is a coming and that is exciting stuff. Yeehaw. All right, friends, that concludes this section here of the 3 days looking back. If you are new to Couch to Active, please head on over to my company here, couch2active.com. On the very front page, you'll see where it says start here, step 1. Do that step. It's super, super important. I know you're just listening to a podcast now, but listening to a podcast is great. Actually getting this done in your life is much greater. It's the greaterest. Yes. So head on over couch2active.com. Get yourself signed up for that step 1. It's free. It's friendly. And I'm here for you. All right. couch2active.com.